Always got the wrong way. Why did a lot of people volunteer? Well, you know, there's a big desire to give back to the community. It's part of the mandate of their organization. And I think for some, maintaining their professional designation. And a lot of people like this. They like educating, right? And so that's how I build a lot of my volunteers to speak across this province. So around 2,000 hours of volunteer time provided at the center last year. So I'm going to just go through some example sessions. So one of the sessions we do is preparing a business plan. We had that the other night. We probably had 40 people signed up for that session. So lots here in Calgary and Edmonton, but also at the rural sites. Was it this week Monday? It was this week Monday. Boy, the week's going fast. This week Monday, I had probably around 60 people at a foreign workers session. This is a great way to get a very, very topical subject that's all everybody's very worried about. It's one of the largest questions we get at our center here is, what do we do? How do we hire foreign workers? I listen to those information from our client group and from my remote sites and say, let's plan a session around that. So people from AEII presented on that. People can ask the questions they need to. And that was a very successful session. Here we go. Anyway, so we also offer these free or in a format of $35 for a seminar, which is a 3-hour session. And just so you know, I mean, I'm speaking for 5 minutes, but think about the presenter who speaks for 3 hours to 20 sites. So this is where we're looking at, is thinking about production, thinking about the people who present. How do you do that? And so this is a great example, but most people are speaking 5 to 7 minutes. But as we go ahead in this kind of technology, you really have to think about the medium and how you promote the message, how do you engage people. Because, you know, with video conference, you can see people, you might see people out there sleeping in the sites. So engaging your sites is really paramount out there. And so I've had sessions, especially with board meetings, where people have actually left the mic on and made some comment about someone in another room. You know, you have to treat this like a big meeting room because it is voice activated, right? So you see me over there, and I was playing with this with this remote control. It's really important to think about some of those protocols because you can do some major faux pas, right? So it's a very interesting technology that way. I'm just giving this example as one of our brown bag sessions. You want to pull people in a room, talk about where's the free money for business. Well, there's rumors out there, but it's not really true, right? There's no grant just sitting there waiting for people to pick off the ground to start their business. And so this is one of our more popular brown bags. A brown bag is a free session, 1 hour, 12 to 1, and we get great turnout for things like this. So how do we measure effectiveness? Well, I can always tell you when I get a new site up. So one of my new sites is Stettler. We'll have people showing up at that session. They'll go, oh, video conference. Well, that was kind of weird, right? Because I get all the evaluation comments. You give it a few weeks, and a lot of the growing pains of running video conference in a community starts to ebb away. And so I look at a lot of different evaluations. And the biggest comment is people are thrilled when they can get this information in their community. I talked about this already, but this is really important, especially for us as we try to get more and more clients this way. So at this point, and those numbers are a little out, because I know I have more in BC, we technically support all these sites. These are primarily at Community Futures offices. And so you're just thinking about Alberta, think bigger. We'll have a national network, I would say, in probably a year. Okay? So pertaining to connectivity, I have been approached by groups to do education sessions pan-west. And we're just working out some of the bugs of how you schedule that kind of stuff. A video conference is very usual for how we want to do content sharing across the provinces. So it doesn't have to originate from Alberta. It can originate from BC. This stuff should be used all the time. It could be back-to-back sessions all day if I had my way. Some of the harder problems for myself as I manage video conference and education session is the logistics of making sure you have a room, an audience, a speaker trained up, and then dealing with all the sites. And so we are looking at seminar and registration portals that can be used across all 4 provinces. And that's something to consider when we're looking at video conference in other areas as well as with the SuperNet, is how do you do that? How do you get all that good stuff that Edson's doing, things like that, and share it? Why do we just limit it to 2 sites? Why don't we have 20 sites at everything? Okay? So those are things to think about. Anyways, that's my presentation. Thank you for coming. Please pick up a brochure, and at all the sites there's a brochure as well. Promote us as a business link as your resource. You can get any of our information sessions via video conference. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Heidi. Appreciate that. Very informative, and I'm glad to know that you're there providing that infrastructure and network support.